So one thing that I've been thinking a lot about lately is the habit of sort of dividing the world up into two parts versus dividing up the world into three parts. So what that means in my kind of traditions of thought is the idea that on the one hand, there's, like our kind of private subjective experience of the world, how we experience it, how our brains produce kind of an imaginary goldfish tank, I guess, of what of subjective experience versus the real thing, whatever is kind of objectively true, which is what we analytically want to say is the cause or the source of whatever it is that we subjectively experience. And anybody who's familiar with the philosophical tradition, either East or West, knows that never works. It always breaks down. If you divide the world into those kind of simple terms, you get paradoxes and you get problems, and you really end up with skepticism. And I think that kind of interpretation of Kant, that interpretation of sort of the modernist project is part of what led to a lot of the problems in postmodernism and relativism, and blah, 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 blah. On the other hand, there's a system that actually has some pretty good foundations, again, both East and West, which is kind of a three-part division or a three-way way of thinking about it. So again, starting with our kind of subjective experience of the world, what we see, but also our emotional life, our analytic understanding of our desires and our situation. And yeah, there is that other realm, which is sort of brute reality in and of itself. But all the interesting stuff happens in that third realm, which is right in between them, right? If you select out just those, and this is what the unconscious is, if you select out just those parts, those mechanisms, those processes, chemical reactions, all those kind of objective things that are going on in sort of the Kantian thing itself, the world as it is, that are directly responsible or directly related to how we produce or how we experience or how we arrive at our subjective experience. That's where all the action is.